You know, during the years in Liberia, I was really concerned with the lack of teaching that many pastors had. There were not opportunities for them to go to Bible school. Many of them were in remote areas. Many of them had no materials. And I was really concerned through all these years, what are these guys learning and what are they teaching when they have no sources? When I made a trip to Sierra Leone and Guinea after the war stopped in 2004, I was appalled at the lack of biblical knowledge and the resources that these people had and the lack of really trained men. And that really motivated me to start discipling certain men that I could find that were serious. But I'm only there a short time. When I went back in 2005, I took with me 4 CD players, the MP3 CD players, along with rechargeable batteries, solar panel, and small speakers, so these pastors could listen and they could have other people listen as well. And I gave those out, and it seemed like a real interest, and these guys really appreciated them. 2009, when I went back, the new small electronic MP3 players had come down in price enough, and I bought 4 of those and took them over, and those were a real hit. I had one pastor who really enjoyed getting to Romans. He was telling me how he was preaching it in the whole, not just his church, but also in a congregational meeting of a lot of pastors and leaders, and they were, you know, it really was impacting him and them. And then I started dreaming. There were other pastors as well that I really wanted to give one to, but I didn't have them, and I'm going to be gone for another year at least. So is there a way I could get these and sell them to people? But that was a can of worms. How do you handle all the money? A lot of these people won't have money. They'll say, well, I don't have any money to buy it. During that trip Scott had just preached before I went, starting Second Peter, and he said, he encouraged the people in the congregation, if you remember that why not copy this book out as we're going through it? And I thought, that's a great idea. So when I went to Liberia and I was teaching Philippians, I asked the pastors, I'd like you during this week to copy out the book of Philippians. I was so encouraged by the responses some of these guys had as a result of that, saying, you know, I knew that verse, I've quoted it so many times, but now I see what it's really talking about. I see what Paul's talking about, because they'd never really gotten into the context of much of the scripture. And so out of this dreaming came a thought, reading the book 50 times, that'd be too much. But why not? Let's try 20 and copy out Romans. Let's have them read Romans 20 times and copy Romans, and we'll give one. And I talked to some of the men, and they thought, yeah, that'd be all right. So that's the way it started. A year later, from that, we already have sent out over 1,000 of these players to pastors, and the thing is just starting to take off. I just can imagine we're working in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Nigeria. We've sent some to Uganda, and we've also sent a few to India, and I just see this thing growing. It's just great.